Cordial greetings to all my dear students. I am very happy to be back on the screen with another short video clip. This time, the video clip is on the characterization of the story Matchbox by Asha Purnadevi. There are three main characters in the story. The most prominent character is Nomita. She is the wife of Ajit, and another character is the poor widowed mother of Nomita. Nomita is a typical representative of Indian housewife. She has almost all the characteristic traits of ordinary Indian women. She sacrifices all her hopes, aspirations, and ambitions and be enslaved within the four walls of her kitchen. She is married to Ajit not on the grounds of financial, social, or family status, but on the grounds of her looks alone. She is a charming woman. But she faces a lot of problems in her husband's house. She doesn't even have the right to read the letters which are addressed to her. The husband, Ajit, he often opens her letter, reads it, and twists and crumbles it and leaves it somewhere. And he doesn't mention it even once to his wife. Nomita is so furious. She is so angry with her husband. She scolds him, warns him, and reprimands him from reading the letters which are addressed to her. But it is of no use. Usually he laughs it away, and if laughter does not get him out of troubled waters, deep water, definitely he will start scolding her. She doesn't have the dignity of a woman, the self-respect of a woman in her husband's house. There are occasional outbursts. Towards the end of one of the altercations with her husband, she tries to commit a foolish thing, tries to put an end to her life, tries to commit suicide in order to break the shackles of marital slavery. Even though she has all these problems, she smiles in front of others, but we know that there is a volcano burning inside her. Like all the ordinary women in our country, she does not want to tear the mask of her husband's high-mindedness and large-heartedness. Most of the ordinary women in our country do not want to tear the mask of their husband's high-mindedness and large-heartedness. They do not want to humiliate their husband in public. That is one of the reasons why she doesn't even mention all these problems to any other member in the family, not even to her mother. She is depicted as a poor, meek, innocent woman in the story. She is not an empowered woman. Probably she is not educated. She is not employed, and she is unable to stand on her own feet. She is not financially or economically independent, and this can be considered as the main reason for her not to help her poor, indigent mother. She is unable to help her impoverished mother. Even though she has almost all the characteristic traits of an ordinary Indian housewife, there are certain differences. She speaks her mind out and she has the courage to challenge her husband. The only advantage of the foolish thing that she has tried to commit is that it frightens her husband. Now the husband realizes that she is not as meek as a lamb. She is stronger, and for the first time he realizes that meekness is not weakness, but strength under control. So we can consider her as a typical representative of Indian women. The second prominent character in the story is Ajit, the husband of Nomita. He can be considered as a representative of the patriarchal society. Here I remember the words of Osho. First, the husband tried to make the wife his possession. Once she is his possession, he loses his interest. Here Ajit considers his wife as a jewel in his valet box, a beautiful jewel in his ornament box. He has married Nomita not on the grounds of financial, social, or family status, but on the basis of her looks alone. She is a very attractive woman. He can be considered as a male chauvinist. He believes in male supremacy, and he thinks that he has the right. A husband has the right to read the letters which are addressed to his wife. It can be considered as an ugly habit to poke your nose into the affairs of others. To poke your nose into the privacies of others is always considered as an ugly habit. As Nomita says, he is a cheap, vulgar man because he says that it is his duty to ensure that no love letter is passed to his wife secretly. This clearly indicates that he is a cheap, vulgar man. He has so many altercations with his wife. Nomita rebukes him, scolds him, warns him, reprimands him from reading her letters. However hard she tries, his ugly habit won't go. He often laughs it away. If laughter does not get him out of troubled waters, deep water, then he starts scolding her. Towards the end of one of the altercations, she tries to put an end to her life. She tries to commit suicide. Here, Ajit is a little bit shocked. He is frightened. He looks at his wife fearfully. For the first time in his life, he realizes that Nomita is not as meek as a lamb. She is a strong person. He also considers his mother-in-law as the dung-picker. He calls Nomita a dung-picker's daughter. He always looks at his mother-in-law with contempt. So we can say that Ajit is a male chauvinist. He is a true representative of the patriarchal society in our country, or he is the representative of an Indian male. The third prominent character in the story is the poor widowed mother of Nomita. It is stated in the story that she is an indigent widow. Indigent means impoverished or poverty-stricken. She is an indigent widow. She has no one else in the family. And she thinks that she is very fortunate in sending her only daughter in marriage to a very rich family. And she always takes pride in it. She lives in a ruined house. And during the rainy season, the rainwater falls in through the cracks on her ceiling in ceaseless streams. She often writes letters to Nomita asking for money. She says, if that house is not repaired or refurbished, probably she will die under a crumbled roof. But she believes that that will not happen because her son-in-law is high-minded and large-hearted. She always requests Nomita for money. She can be considered as a representative of the poor women in our country, the women who belong to the poorest section in our country. She doesn't have any self-respect and dignity. She begs for money. The circumstances force her to lead a life without any dignity and self-respect. So, these are the three prominent characters in the story Matchbox by Asha Purnadevi. The two women are not ambivert. The husband of Nomita is a man who believes in a male-centered society. So from this session, you can expect questions in your final examination. Prepare character sketch of any of these characters, Nomita, Ajit, or the poor widowed mother of Nomita. So there is an assignment. Prepare character sketches of Nomita, Ajit, and the indigent widow, the mother of Nomita. That's all for the day.